What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to Challenge Boy Jared. Y'all, today we're gonna be looking at a video from Anton. And y'all, apparently there is a single mom that literally broke down crying because life is hard. Now, this isn't gonna be a judgment type of video, although probably will happen at some point in time. But apparently this woman is crying because life isn't what she thought it would be as a single mom. I'm gonna say this, ladies. Like consequence, well, choices have consequences, and sometimes you have to learn from those choices about the consequences that happen. And this is a very big one. Listen to this.
Back it the up. When some days you just want to cry and it feel like you want to die, you have to somehow figure out how to get your together before you in front of your child. They don't talk about that. They do not. As easy as all their single parents looks, bro, this is really hard when your mental is beating your life. Like, I just want to cry so bad right now, but I can't.
Can I ask you a question? Who else finds it quite uncomfortable when these women come online just to cry? And that ain't me trying to be a dick or anything about it, but it's me actually telling the truth about the situation. Who really comes on? Who really is? Who really feels bad for these women when they come online just to cry, try to get sympathy after they've chosen the stuff that they do in their life? Because it's all a choice. So the only person that they should be blaming and mad at is them.
Life is just so crazy to me. Like, what people believe to be the happiest people are really going through the hardest time in life. And like, you literally have to pep talk yourself every day and just keep going. Like, it is literally not easy being me. But every day I have to look myself in the mirror and give me a pep talk that I one day hope I believe, so I can finally feel better about my mother life. I just need a break. But then I remember there's somebody out here who is living a worse life than me, and I just need to be grateful because in some form of way I am living in a prayer that I want to ask God for. And despite what I feel now, I need to be grateful for the little bit he has given to me, because he will never give me more until I show gratitude for what is in front of me. This is the life of a single mom.
I'm glad that this video was made and that you guys sent it to me. And I always like to give credit back to the content creator, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. But I think we need to take a completely different angle and approach to this conversation, because it speaks to the other side of what people usually would or wouldn't say when it comes to celebrating the single parent childhoods that a lot of these parents are creating for these children. And now we can slice this a lot of ways, but I'm going to take a more empathetic approach, because it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that day in and day out, first, the child, and I'm not speaking about her, I'm speaking about the environment that children are raised in. The child is the one that suffers the most from these decisions that are made on behalf of the parents. When people lay down and they open up their legs to have children, I don't think that they're really thinking about the consequences that come along with giving up your entire life. And there have been several different videos of people that are basically saying that it's not even worth it to have a child. And I'm not saying that that's true, but I don't think that people are having a full conversation of what it takes. But instead, what they do is they continue to pass on bad behavior and generational curses and trauma that precedes them, and then they give it over into the next generation. And we're not living a life that we would want our children to live, and we have to make the sacrifice so we can do something different and get different results. But You can't turn it off. It's not a video game. It's not even a normal relationship where you can walk away and do your own thing and say, you know what, want to divide myself against this person. No, when you got children, when you got a kid, it's on. It's up 100% of the time. And 98%, if you are a great parent, 98% of your decisions are going to be based around what's best for that child, including and should be included in this conversation whether or not they should be with their father or mother, whether or not they should be around their father and their mother. And that's why I don't really believe in co-parenting. I know that there's extreme situations that we need to take into consideration, but in a nutshell, you can't break up the family. You cannot break up the family. It's too hard to do it on your own. Do people do it on their own every day? Yeah, but not because they want to, because they don't have no choice, because you can't turn it off. You can't just give up on a child. You can't just say, okay, well, listen, I don't want to take you to school today. You can't say, I don't want to feed you today. You can't say that I don't have enough money. You got to go find it. And in a lot of instances, children push you to be the best version of yourself because you're doing something for more than yourself. Even if you go to Alcoholics Anonymous or you go to something that you're addicted to, they often at times tell you to do things for more than, like, look at or think about people that are more than yourself. And then that will help you to get through and push you through to being the best version of yourself, because we don't always do the thing that's best for ourselves. And that's why we are, not us, but as a culture, not me, but as a culture, there are so many single parent households. And so, what this video is basically doing is telling you that there is a dark side to having children out of wedlock and or having children and raising children by yourself. It is so glorified. I cannot tell you how many different things I've seen on social media or from content creation of women saying that I'm single, but I'm pregnant and I'm still having it and all of this stuff. And I think that people should be responsible for their decisions and have those babies. One of the things that was heavy during this election cycle was the conversation around deleting babies as a form of contraception. I don't agree with that. And I think that we need to be more proactive, and she's proven it. Being proactive in these conversations about whether or not you should be having children or the person that you lay down with, or whether or not you're putting a rubber on, or if you should even be having sex and opening up your legs in the first place, is the real conversations. It's not just about having a child out of wedlock. It's not about being on some congratulatory tip when people decide that they want to have children. It's also about, if we are being honest about what it takes to raise a child. You often at times put that child in a position that's under duress. You don't think that children can sense when you're going through stuff. You don't think that they see when you sad and they become sad. You don't think that they're affected when they go to school every single day. You don't think that they're impacted when they get teased because they don't have two-parent households. You don't think that other kids are paying attention to and using that in a predatory fashion in order to go off on those kids. You don't think that people know that you a single mother and all of this other stuff. Yes, they absolutely do. And guess who the person that suffers the most from it? The children. The children. And so what she's basically saying is, don't glorify something that you don't understand. So many people. I remember when MTV back in the day was promoting this program called Teen Mom. I thought it was probably one of the worst, most toxic things that I've ever seen in my entire life as far as the advertisement from it. I refused to watch it. Even that young, I refused to watch it because I knew that that was degenerate behavior. And again, I understand that there are some people that cannot help their circumstances. Some people are widows. Other people, it was just really, really a toxic situation. I would never advocate for somebody to stay in a situation that's not ideal for them. But in reality, a lot of people, most people overwhelmingly are choosing to be single parents and to father and mother single parent children.
And you know what? I can't disagree with Anton on this particular topic. I can't. Because let's be honest here. We all know that a strong household produces strong children, successful children, more times out of not. We keep this particular thought process and the black community of let of single moms do no wrong, or they can do it by themselves and they don't need a man. When you have a thought process like that, it leads to destructive tendencies and destructive behaviors. I'm speaking from experience. I was raised by a single mother, so I should know. It's destructive for a boy, especially, to grow up in a household without a father, because that father can instill teachings into that young man that will help him grow to become a better man. When you have when you don't have a man that's in your life that's not out there giving an example of what true of a masculine man does, it leads to a destructive behavior because that boy doesn't necessarily know how to be a man. He either learns how to be a man from TV, or he learns how to be a man, or learns how to be a man from the streets. Both ways are destructive. The TV man is going to teach him how to be sensitive and shit like that, but the man but in the street man is going to teach him how to hustle, but hustle the wrong way. So you need a man that's actually in the household, that's a hardworking man, that's a man that's actually out there in the mud getting it right and actually building something for himself, giving that boy or that girl a figure to look up to, or to find somebody just like their father in the case of the girl. A lot of women don't understand that that's very essential when it comes to kids. Because if I'm a young boy looking for a man that's in the household, I'm looking for a man that's a mover and shaker. I'm going to be looking for the father figure to teach me and be an example for me. But the way that this culture is, I don't know if this culture is going to be around much longer. Anyways, only thing I can do is just speak from my experiences. But anyways, guys, like, share, subscribe, channel support the podcast, and spot.com. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.